Today's video, I'm going to show you my entry in last year's Makers Challenge. They had two themes, either bold or soft. I'll let you guess which one I went with. But it's a really fun project. It is more of a vlog style video because I'm going to show you all the stories as I progress through the project. I did have some problems with it, but it's a really good project that I wanted to share with you. So let's go. So here's the piece that I got at auction for $21. Honestly, I can't even believe I paid $21 for it, but it was an American in Martinsville, so here we go. So are you entering the Makers Challenge furniture flip? I have a piece that I think I'm going to try. I tried last time, but I failed. So actually 2 times ago when it was adding texture, I tried it and it didn't. My piece didn't work. I just stopped. And then last time it was shiny, which you think I would have tried, but I didn't. And so this time it's a little confusing. There's 2 themes. One is on the softer side and one is going bold. So can you guess which one I'm going with? Bold, of course. So I may come up with another piece to do for the soft one, but I have 2 pieces right now. One is the bookcase that I got that we're pretending goes together. That really doesn't. But it's for my husband. And so I'm doing repairs this week. And then the other one is the little nightstand, and it is sad. It's a sad sight. So I will show you what it looks like, but, and I'll show you my inspiration, even though I'm not sure it's going to work. So I'm hesitant to show you because sometimes I bite off more than I can chew, but we're going to try it. So here you go. Here's the little one I've been working on that I'm going to use for the challenge. Been working on it this week. So repairs needed. This is a American of Martinsville. First one I've worked on of this brand, but a really cool mid-century. I've got the original pulls. There's another drawer that goes there, but they had painted it an awful color of green. So I've sanded back what I can. A lot of damage on the top that I've had to just chip off some of the veneer, and then I'm filling it in with Bondo. So I worked on that this morning, fixing all the little pieces, that little dents and stuff. Did that today too. So anyway, lots of work on this one. So do you want to see my inspiration piece for this set? Here you go. Here it is. What do you think? Black and white stripes. I'm going to go horizontal. I already ordered the tape that I'm going to use to tape it off. I'm going to go with robin's egg blue in the middle because it's all an open area. I don't know why. I just think blue would go really well. So I'm going to do blue in the middle. I'm going to prime the whole thing out, paint it all out in white. Then I'm going to tape it all off, drawers included, so this will be seamless. I have a little bit of curve on the edge, so it's going to be interesting to do that. But I think it's going to look good. We're going to try. Stay tuned. So now that you know my plan for this piece, let me back up and tell you a little bit about it. Like I said earlier, I got it for $21 at a local online auction. I didn't realize how bad it was. You buy them sight unseen, and sometimes you just get a little caught up in the auction. And so I didn't realize how damaged it was. You can see the top had some major problems. We had some veneer issues on it. One of the corners was a little beat up. So I dove right in and started with a really good clean. I did have the original brass pulls, which was really cool. But I did really like the lines on this piece. And so I thought, we're just going to give her a nice little makeover. Since the goal in this piece is to paint it, I'm not going to sand it all the way down to raw, but I need to get rid of any kind of flaking paint. So I'm going to get a really good sand on it and make sure the surface is really smooth when I go to prime and paint it. So during the sanding process, I saw there was a lot of veneer that was loose. And so again, I'm not preserving the top, I'm just painting it. So I decided I've really got to get rid of this to make it smooth. So I'm going to just pry it off. I'm going to make sure there's no loose veneer. So you'll see I go around the top, get all of it off, and then I'll fill it in with Bondo. Bondo is a two-part wood filler system. You have the putty and then you have a hardener, and you just mix them together in small batches because it dries really quickly, and then you just apply it. Sometimes you need to do 2 batches if you have an area that's really large or an area that's very uneven. You'll have to do a couple batches of Bondo. The nice thing about Bondo is it dries really hard, so you can create corners that weren't there before. So you see I'm just applying some painter's tape and I'm really creating that nice 90-degree turn. You can also use shims and really clamp it up to create a really nice corner. Once all the repairs are done, now I'm ready to prime. I'm using Ben Shellac primer. This is a little spray gun called a Critter, and it just attaches to a small air compressor. And it's great to use with Ben Shellac because it's hard to clean up, because you have to clean it up with either ammonia or denatured alcohol. So it has very few moving parts, and so I do like to use this particular brand for spraying the Ben Shellac. Now that I have my primer on, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat of white. This is Melange. This is their one line, and I believe it's called Paperie is the off-white color. For the interior, I thought it would look really beautiful to have kind of a robin's egg blue. So this is Free Spirit, also by Melange, and I'm just going to paint the interior a couple coats of the blue. So here's where I am on the nightstand. I have it all painted out after a bazillion repairs. Primed it, painted it. I have the interior painted out. And now I'm going to start on the taping off. So I have some low tack tape here, And I've never actually taped off a whole piece before, but I'm going to do the same method that I've used with gilding. And so you put some tape down and you use that as your guide for your next piece of tape, and then you just keep going. So you put one piece down, and then you put another piece right next to it, and then you pull the first piece off, and there's your line that you're going to paint. So I was trying to determine what size of stripe I wanted. So I got a couple different widths. I use this as my guide, this particular piece. This is about 3/4 of an inch. And so half of 3/4 is 0.375. So that's the size I got. I tried to do half, but I thought that in the end, I think that's going to be too small. So I went with 3/4 of an inch, and I got a couple different brands. These are used for making lines in automobiles for design. So it is a low tack. It shouldn't pull the paint up, but I've tried to let it cure a little bit longer so that I won't have any problems taking it up. So today I'm going to get it all taped up, and then I'm going to paint the black lines on it. So we shall see. I like to use Barkeeper's Friend to clean my hardware. This is brass hardware, so I'll usually just soak it in some boiled water and some vinegar, and then I will take some Barkeeper's Friend along with a very fine steel wool and just get that polished up. If it still doesn't look great after a really good clean and polish, then I will go ahead and spray it with some gold spray paint. So I sprayed a sealer on the piece and I grabbed what I had off the shelf and it wasn't drying. So I looked at the container and it's actually not for paint, it's for wood. So it's not drying. So I grabbed a 50-50 mixture of mineral spirits and water, and I'm going over the piece and I'm pulling it off. And thankfully it didn't mess with any of the tape. And so I think the tape is still sealed, but I'm running out of time and I got to get my coat of paint on because I have to get 2 coats on before I can peel the tape. So I'm a little like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. But I'm going to try this and hopefully I can get my first coat of black on and we'll see what happens. Lead. Oh. This tape was a bust. Well, good morning. Let me give you an update on where we are at. The taping didn't work in the ceiling, and when I peeled it off last night, it looked awful. So I had a gut feeling that the tape was too low tack. I usually use 3M tape, and it was a different brand. I think it was just bad tape. I don't know. So could have been a combination with the ceiling problem that I had, but if you squint your eyes, it looks good. But I have a plan. And my plan is, I bought 2 tapes. So I did buy a 3M. The reason why I went with the tape I had, because it was slightly larger, which is what I wanted. But I'm going back with the brand that I know. And so I'm going to retape it. I'm actually going to tape off the black stripes and I'm going to repaint the white, and we'll see if that works. I'm going to seal it with just a top coat this time that I trust. And I'm using a Bear one top coat, and it has a recoat time of an hour. So I'm going to use my heat gun, try to kind of speed up the drying time, and we'll see if that works. But here we go.
pulling all the black off.
What happened to you?
That was crazy. So I'm back on track. Yesterday, if you caught my reel, you see the disaster I had with the taping of this piece. So I have boiled it down to two things. I really think the sealer that I grabbed was the main culprit. I don't know, sometimes, we do things. I grabbed it off the shelf, thought, oh, it's a sealer, it'll work. And there's several ways you can seal. You can seal with just a clear sealer. You can seal with paint. But I just grabbed this sealer. It was spray. I thought it'll be quick. I'm in a hurry. Disaster. Because when I looked at the can later, it was actually for wood only. It was for an exterior project, a wood I'm redoing outside, and it caused the paint, the black paint that I painted over, it didn't stick. It literally was just flaking off the paint. So I had some people say, oh, that's a cool look. And I was like, well, it wouldn't have worked even if I'd sealed it because it was peeling off. So I had to fix it. I had just sand all of the black paint completely off and start over. So, but it's looking better. Do you want to see it? Okay, I'll give you a little peek. Nice crisp lines, still working on the front. I've got this side I'm still working on, but we are making progress. So basically, after sanding it down and starting over, using a really good tape, 3M is a really good tape, and then I really just use the base paint as my sealer. That's really your best method. And then going ahead and painting the black over it, and I finally have nice crisp lines. I still had to do some touch-ups just because of the nature of all of the errors that I had, but I was finally able to get it really, really close. One last step is to line the drawers and to attach the hardware. So let's look back at the before. This was a sad little table. All that veneer damage on the top, and of course the bottom looked like it had been chewed up. So horrible paint job. It just needed a lot of love. And obviously, I tried to give it a lot of love. I made a lot of mistakes on this one. But you know what? Sometimes mistakes happen. But after all of that, here is the finished product. Isn't she pretty? I think it's bold, don't you? I think it fit really well in the bold category. Black and white with that pop of blue. I knew the blue would look beautiful, and I think it does. So I just should have done what I always do is my quality tape, self-seal with the under layer of your paint over that with your other color, and you're good to go. So sometimes, when you're in a hurry, you make mistakes. That's part of being human, but there's usually a pivot and you can fix it. And with this one, I did make it work. So it just took a little bit more time than it should have on such a small piece. But you know what? I kept it. I loved this one. And you know what? This lives happily in my dining room, and I get to enjoy it every day. I thought, there's no way somebody's going to pay what I would want to sell this one for, because it was a lot of work, but I love it. I didn't end up winning the contest, if you want to know, but I thought it was a really good entry in the bold category, and I had a really fun time and a good learning experience doing it. So, are you a fan? Do you like black and white? Is it too bold? I think it's bold, but I think it could go in almost any decor. But tell me what you think, and thanks so much for watching.